Recording in progress.
With 3 minutes to spare.
Right. That clock is off.
It is off. This one, I gotta fix
Yeah.
it today before I go.
2 or
It's
3
it's 2 minutes past. The official time is 2 past, I would think.
Right.
I don't have a digital. But it's a couple minutes past.
101 according to
Yep.
Right.
That's what it is,
I'm just waiting for Judy to come back in.
those copies. Yeah.
We're
101.
we're live and recording. And we have Bill Waterhouse in the, he's now in. I just admitted him.
Okay, so you can pass these down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right,
We have no water.
so, yeah, so Waterhouse, and call the meeting to order at 1:02. Or the workshop to order. And we have 2 things, I believe, that we're looking to discuss today. And that would be, one is the MOU for the ice castles for their water and their maintenance agreement for the road.
Yeah.
And also Scott brought forth something to discuss on the water loss evaluation from EJP. What do you guys want to start with? You want to start with the
Let's
ice
start with
castles?
Mike. What's Mitchell Street? He's got something on Mitchell Street.
No, no, he doesn't.
No,
No,
Oh,
it's
ice
we're just,
castles.
he's just here for ice castles
Oh, okay.
to listen in.
So
Um,
we'll start with the MOU.
sure.
All right,
The road's
It's
pretty
pretty-
cut and dry, isn't
yeah,
it?
the road's pretty cut dry.
I didn't change anything on the road other than extending it down on number 1.
Yep,
Scott suggested that we extend it for 2 years.
okay.
So
Instead of going back and.
I left
forth
all the
time.
verbiage as it was, and I changed it from July 27th, 2021, which is your next meeting.
Okay,
And I just went to July 30th, 2023, rounded it off.
okay,
And we should probably email what we're gonna do after today off to the Ice Castle folks so they know what's going on.
Right, that's what, and let them know that you would be approving or
If they wanna
voting on
come to
this
that
on the
Yeah.
27th.
on the 27th, they wanna join us. Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure you didn't want anything else changed on that other than making it a 2-year.
Nope.
Okay, and you're good with that, keeping it the same as.
Well, we don't foresee any major changes in producing water as far as, you know.
This,
This is just the road.
this is just the road
Yeah, that's all
contract
we're
right
doing.
now.
Yeah,
haven't heard of anything.
and now we're gonna go on to the water. I think the water should be,
Yes,
Mhm.
I think we have to just because of the rates.
yeah, and everything else.
Yeah.
I think the water should be every year, but the road thing isn't gonna change much. I just don't think why we have to beat it to death every year. That's my thought. So,
Right, right. And that's already been through legal and prepared by legal, so.
exactly.
They still
I'll
gotta come to us before they make changes or do anything anyway, so.
Yep.
So Judy and I ran some rates on the water MOU. And we talked with Steve LaFrance on situations that he's seen with the unique situation that we have with ice castles, where they really only draw a couple months, 3 or 4 months out of the year. They don't use our water around. Quantity of water for businesses or other. And so for the base rate, based off of that they're only taxing the system really 4 months out of the year. So we're gonna do $14,415 for a base rate for them.
Yeah.
And then they will pay $5 per 1,000 gallons on every gallon used.
Yep.
So.
Sounds reasonable.
So that's what's been placed in front of you. That will bring them, in estimate using last year's numbers, that's about a $20,000 increase
Mhm.
over what they paid in 2020.
That seems pretty reasonable. I mean,
And they
seems
use,
fair.
well, they use 3 times the amount that you do.
Yeah.
And this is more than 3 times the amount of the rate that you're paid.
Right.
Right.
No,
So
I think,
I feel like that's
Well,
We're in the
then
ballpark.
if they season and they want to make more, that covers.
And they're going to
It
write,
covers that.
and they're gonna pay by, the $5 per thousand on top of that, so we're gonna.
So, I pretty much, when they've been talking to you, I told them it's gonna be some increase, but I don't, and it's exactly what we're talking about, the base rate's gonna be, gonna have a base rate, but your gallonage rate will probably stay the same. As I said, I don't know, but that was my guess.
So the only thing that I changed on this MOU is number 5, and I just want you to check my wording.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
I agree to
Okay.
that. I think that was
And
good.
everything else should remain the same,
And
right?
last year, I think Mike can say this was good communication about how much water they use, when they wanted to go over and stuff like that. That's what you said, Mike, right? Correct? You're pretty happy with the communication and stuff with them?
Yeah, they're usually pretty good. If I call them and tell them, Christmas night or weekend, it's, if the pump is run 2-3 days, they'll cut right down, they'll back off. Or if there's a fire or something, they're really good. They've always got somebody there during the night.
Yeah.
Well, they have no choice with the fire, they're the first one to shut off.
Oh,
That's right, and they know that.
Yeah,
Fortunately, we
I'm sure
haven't had
they
that
will.
happen yet, but
And they talked to me too about if we can increase, if we can go with a system that will run both pumps at once, with a computer and stuff like that, they'd be interested in maybe putting some of the bill for that. But I told them we wouldn't be even looking at that till after summer.
no, it won't be this year.
Yep, so.
Okay,
Right,
so do we need to bring this MOU to next week's meeting?
yeah, that was my
Next week
plan,
or 2 weeks from now?
27th.
27th and vote on it officially.
Yeah, and
Okay.
what I plan to do in between is if you guys approve these, send them to Kyle.
Yep.
Ahead of time. and
Right,
Let them know,
they should know.
Yep.
Yeah.
this is what's coming, this is what you're gonna vote on.
So go ahead and send both those.
Okay,
All right. And now we have this evaluation of the water loss.
Okay, this company made a presentation to Mike and Judy and I. And they're pretty impressive, I think, these people. It's the second visit that they came with. To look at water loss among other things. So the proposal here, Judy and I were talking where we've had the proposal for, initial proposal for a year and a half or so, since before the crisis, that there's a good chance we get the costs covered by CARES money.
Okay.
But this is just a revised version of that, and current version, just to go over it again. And they really feel they can isolate our water loss and figure out exactly what's going on. They segregate different parts of town with different meters, check them against, make sure each section of town, where the water loss is coming from. I analyze it, make sure we know where it is, how to fix it. They'd also map every hydrant, every water meter, everything to the centimeter to the valves. So we'd have it on a database that would be on the internet that we would have forever. And then,
and it works current with our current ARC system that we have, ARC, right?
right,
System that we have, this goes hand in hand, right?
yes, it'll go with our current system, it'll go with our current meter system.
Right.
So everything will be over, and then there's an overall program that will oversee the whole works that would be part of this.
And they're gonna work with Penachuk because Penachuk already GI, they already do some of this with hydrants and stuff.
Right.
So between the two companies, we'll have a real good map of what's going on, where everything is.
Great.
Once we get through this, we would look at maybe having them do the sewer lines and things like that as well. But this would end up with a complete map of the water system, what's underground, what type of pipes we have, where everything is, so forth and so on. And they will find out where the water is going. Is the guarantee. And it's a fraction over cost. It wasn't actually as bad as I thought, to be honest. I think it's about $40,000, and that would
It's 42. Oh, that's yearly maintenance.
It'd be $40,500, and that would be for all that service. It would include 1 year of maintenance and upgrades and make sure the website's all set and all that type of thing. If we wanted to continue after that, we would pay $24.95 a year, but I think we can wait till the middle of the year to see where that's going and decide if we want to do that. To me, it might make sense to keep everything up to date all the time.
At least for a couple of years. to
Yeah, and they,
Make sure things are still.
and they would come a few days a year as part of that. You know, to do that.
And eventually the state's gonna enforce us anyway, matter of time. They're gonna want every water system, GPS.
No, it makes sense. We should have done it a long time ago.
We were already seeing this on the grants we were trying to apply for,
Yeah.
Right,
because we didn't have the data that they were looking for because we hadn't had a GIS.
right.
And if we can save all that water, we're gonna save a lot of electricity, a lot of chemicals, a lot of everything else. So I think
This master meter testing at $500 per meter, which is not included in that 40,000. Do we have an estimate of how many of those? Is that just the
I
two?
think that's if we find, it's the bigger meters, if we find one we believe or, seem to be having trouble with, they can test it.
Okay,
And well, of all the meters so far, especially the big meters, we've only had one fail due to, they don't even know why. It was reading water when it shouldn't have been.
Mine?
okay.
No,
No.
no.
I wasn't reading water.
Was,
Yeah, Lower
Judas.
Woodstock, yeah. It was a,
And they found a faulty meter, and that's the first one, they're the only one that we've had. We had one fail because it was underwater too long and it finally failed, but other than that,
these master
Meters all
meters
went
aren't the.
And
meters
then
in
the meters at
pits.
the well too, right?
Those are flow meters.
Flow
Okay.
meters.
They
They,
don't-
they will work with Pennachuck
They're
on that.
different, okay.
they record daily usages and then they come up with the numbers as far as how many how many gallons.
And what they're gonna do, when they come in here, we're talking about, why it was costing, why we're gonna pay them to read the meters, because they're gonna do it once a week. We're saying we could do it, but then,
No,
That makes
until we found out.
until we find
They
out
gotta-
they're gonna do it once a week
Wow.
and put it against the master meter, the flow
Flow
meter.
meters.
So, and that way they're really gonna isolate
Mhm.
what's going on.
That's
Yeah.
great, that sounds great.
So when they said that was, okay.
They
that's
went too
why.
much
That's
data.
why,
They went too much data too quick and we wouldn't be able to.
exactly, no,
Right.
there's no way. you can do it. You can just-
Do you think that DES week grant will help fund some of that, or is it?
It's for next year.
It's good next
Yeah.
year.
We're looking to start this
And
now.
they assign, they send somebody.
Okay,
But the
They send
thing
it
is,
to a company.
if we get the grant, there's no harm in doing it again next year.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
They might find something, the other one's missing.
Yeah, certainly
something.
gives you.
Or
something
pick up
about your
on something else.
Sure,
data off.
yeah, I
Yep.
really feel like these people can find out what's going on.
And they have a potential, like, I've been wanting to
I hope.
map out our cemetery,
Well.
Hmm.
you know, and put the kiosk down there and they
This
work
guy
with
does it all over
cartographics. So
the
once
wo-
we
all
got
over the
through
country.
this
He
asset
flies to
management program,
Pennsylvania.
they can actually do our cemeteries
Ohio,
for us.
Oh, wow.
California,
And
He
we
does
can
this for
move
all
to
over
that
the-
next,
great.
pretty impressive.
sooner than that. So they have a lot
So-
of potential.
What do we, you, I'm sure, looked through the budget and we can,
I can't make any determination
Well,
until
what
I
we-
know what
Well-
is gonna happen down in the municipal parking lot.
Right, and what we had talked about, was that, we were gonna save about $20,000 on the Pennachuck contract this year.
Right.
We could put that towards it,
okay.
We asked them,
if they could do it in
if we
2
could do
years.
two parts,
Maintenance.
and if
Okay,
they can, and they come back to us, they're supposed to be checking on that, then we're good to go.
excellent.
I
And,
don't dare commit to the whole
That-
thing.
but that's the worst case scenario. And then we do it that, and next year, we may have enough money left over in the capital reserve after we get done with that project, but we don't know. And we also may get it 100% funded by the CARES Act.
We might, and
The
if there's
AOC,
just too many
okay.
unknowns, I know if they come back and say that we can do the 2 installments, we're good to go.
Okay,
They said we could, basically,
They said they had to check with management.
but
Yep.
it's good to know.
Um,
So,
They want the business.
I think, and they
So
could
as
start
long as we
almost,
can.
they could start within a few weeks.
yes,
okay.
So I'd
I'm
like to,
sure it'll be fine, but I don't wanna commit to that until I just don't know what to anticipate down there.
Right,
No, I
so
think-
when do we want to commit? Like,
next
Do we-
Tuesday.
okay,
I mean, if they come back and say, yes, we'll take the two, absolutely, I say you commit right then.
We'll
Okay.
commit next
And
Tuesday.
if
I-
we have it, we pay it, and if we don't, we pay the other 20,000 in the next year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they'll do that.
So we'll bring us to the next meeting.
Yeah, to
Next
vote on
selectmen's
it.
To
meeting
vote
to
on
vote
that.
on it.
And
We'll get a-
hopefully
we'll
by
get a-
then,
We'll get a final contract saying that they'll split it if we need to,
right,
you know, and
I would think by then we'll have an answer, you know,
I would suspect.
because that was just last Friday, so
Right.
they've only been a couple days.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Besides
No,
that,
it's a
I
week
have
from-
something to do.
a week from
non-public.
Tuesday, right?
what's that?
Next meeting's a week from Tuesday.
Yeah.
We-
27th.
Yeah, so that gives us plenty of time to get the new contract.
Yeah,
Right,
all
and
that
I'll have a
stuff.
definite answer, you guys can vote, because we should know whether we're gonna,
Go over that.
Going on, yeah.
Sounds good.
and, yeah.
Do you have any questions, Gil, or any thoughts? that you
Not
want
till I
to-
go over this
Okay, you were ready to
detail.
that, okay.
A lot of it's boilerplate.
boilerplate, I'm sure.
There's only two pages that are probably worth reading, but I know it is good.
Well,
It's
I know,
interesting.
I'll know boilerplate.
You know, they, once we get this water loss under control, even if we had like a maintenance thing with them to keep coming back, 'cause we could get the ground, you know, stormwater, heat valves, all of that stuff we can get.
Well, that's all gonna be done. All the water stuff will be done in this survey.
Everything,
Everything. That is what this is.
so then they'll come back and do our sewer line.
Yeah, after that.
Good thing about sewer lines, it's straight from manhole to manhole, there's no turns, bends.
Yeah,
Right.
so that should be.
That'll be
easy.
pretty basic, that should go pretty well.
All right,
And also hopefully we're gonna find out, and if they can't figure out, we'll figure out what type of pipe we've got.
yeah,
No.
that's the other thing we asked, because,
They weren't sure, we might have to do something to
yeah,
help
we
figure that out.
kicked around a couple ideas, but.
Okay.
we'll see what
And
we can
also talking about the lead, possible lead lines that, something we probably have to do internally, you know, maybe over the winter. We pick out all the older houses and check
Mm-hmm.
their meters to see if they have lead services coming into the meters.
Someone like my mom's house. she
Yeah.
would be another
And they would
choice.
show us how to do that, you know, so Mike and the crew how to do that. So that, it would be cost effective to hire them, you go into every house. And there's no needs to go into every house. It's only houses that have been there 50 or more years and on the water 50 more years that would have those lead services.
One of the grants that we were working on wanted to know how many miles of ductile we had, how many miles
Yeah.
of copper we had, how many miles, we had no idea.
And we should have a nice little
We just.
map
couldn't
of this when
answer.
we're done, right on the internet, so we're good.
I mean, some of my old maps have some on there.
Yeah.
But some places it's not very well known.
Right. Well, and then you're gonna go dig into maps instead of like having it just type in.
Right.
No, I
That's-
mean,
And
Have
he'll be able to
everything
update
digital
from
is really
his
huge.
computer as he finds things.
Yeah.
too.
on your phone, really.
Great.
Yeah, from, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great. Good. Anything else that needs to be discussed in public meeting? I have a non-public.
No,
issue to
just
discuss.
we should put on paper, what those, RSAs were about working on a class 6 road.
Oh,
Okay.
So when they start, if somebody else wants to put more into it.
I,
I mean, we already have a release form for people that want to move on this to class 6 roads. That says that, you know, we can't get to you, you can't sue us. just
Right,
because you're
right.
on an
when was the,
unmaintained road.
what was the last time that was looked at?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The release form, when people build on a class 6 road.
Oh, it's a standard release form that all of every municipality.
It is,
uses.
okay, so it's been looked at, updated.
Mhm.
It's not something we've had in the.
That's another
for
boilerplate.
30 years.
It's a
Okay,
boilerplate
yeah.
template that
All right.
most communities use.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. we're
So I
up to
think
date.
this should go along with that.
What?
This should be an addendum to,
What is,
we're talking about working on it, what,
well, you would have an agreement drawn up just like you did for Old Fairfield Road by the lawyer.
yeah, because each one's gonna be different.
Right.
So it'd be no different than what you guys just did for Old Fairfield Road.
Okay, but we should find someone to communicate the fact that they do have to stop here first.
I think that should be part of the agreement they signed, probably saying that any work on. I don't know what that agreement says when they sign it.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think there's
it's
anything
But
about
basically
maintenance
it's-
other than
I think it
911 can't get there. There's no.
Right, I think you're releasing your emergency rights to that.
Okay,
You know, we're saying that we can't guarantee that we're going to get emergency services to you. We're gonna try. We're gonna do our
Because,
very
sure,
best.
right, because we don't maintain a road.
right.
But
Well, maybe we
I
can have a
think it-
second,
I think anybody
Thank
Well,
knows
yes,
that,
exactly, what Gil's talking about. Something
Yeah.
saying what the,
them
Right.
agreeing to the point that they can't do work until they.
so maybe we
approach the select.
just add that at
They
the
can
end of
plow the
it. It
road,
may
but
be
they
there.
can't change culverts, they can't resurface, they can't.
Right.
Do
It
Well,
may be
anything.
something
resurfacing
in there. I
is
don't
just
know. I have
exactly
to
what
look.
was just done.
I remember
Yeah.
So I don't
Harry.
think that's an issue. I don't mind if they resurface it, but
so,
they can't change
I'll
culverts
look
and
at,
stuff like
I'll,
that.
I'll
What I
send you
told
guys the
Bob,
agreement, what it
too,
looks
I
like.
said, look,
Okay.
we just,
I can't remember what's
we
in
would
it.
have approved it,
I
we just needed that, we just
think it's.
needed.
That's
what
right, and we've done
we
this
could add
before,
to it,
and
I mean, as long as
he's
we
done
have
this
these.
before.
Oh, yeah, so-
And we didn't feel a need to have any forms,
Oh, then that's why he just went ahead and did it.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah. But the
Oh, he's
complete road
done
this.
wasn't done,
No.
he did as far as his house,
okay,
but I don't believe that people further down want a highway up to their house.
We
okay.
stopped at his
Because
house,
it creates traffic,
but then after that.
so when a road is rough, they don't get so much traffic, I think that's why they enjoy
I
it.
guess two sides to that, isn't there?
There is, and that's why I think that if someone wants to work on a class 6 road, they should be in touch with everybody
All their
on that
neighbors, yeah.
road to make sure everybody on that road and the selectmen are in agreement as to
I-
what you want to do to the road.
I didn't think about that, Mike.
Because the other people may not want a
Yeah.
highway.
So let's
you
have
know.
Judy email us what we have, and then we could take a look at it, and then we could iron it out in another workshop
Well,
down the
then I
road.
said, I see some RSA's that were sent from Auburn, New Hampshire. Somebody had a discussion with somebody from Auburn,
I get that on my website.
Oh.
It's
what
the
is
one
it?
I
didn't
forwarded.
get
and
it.
they
It was an
referenced
email.
RSA.
There's RSA's about people having.
That's what I was referring to.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
RSA 236 something. I think it's even in the letter that's going out that governs class 6 roads and that type of stuff.
Okay,
They referenced
Remember it off the top of my head.
a book, and we have that book.
You have.
I
it.
think we
Road
should get
travel.
an updated one though, because that's been here since I've been here.
I get them,
I got,
I think I have the last revision. I think you guys do too.
I think I got a new one.
I'll look, but I'll look
Road
into
travel.
hard road
Bad
travel,
road
yep,
travel.
I got that book.
you know, in the territory. Those are two good ones.
I was saying too, after going back through that
Let's get
seminar
that
that time,
updated.
we're pretty strict on our road
Mhm.
regulations, more than most towns
Mhm.
about town roads, because we're saying they have to be paved, they have to be this, they have to be that. Most towns don't. They don't insist that they get paved or anything like that.
Right.
I'm just throwing that out.
They don't have to be paved if they don't.
Well, they
For the
have to in
town
this
accept
town
it, they
because,
do. For the town to accept the
Okay.
town meeting, they do.
okay, all right.
That's how that works.
Okay,
And it's basically the same as a subdivision.
but they're saying class 5 roads can be dirt, you know, there's thousands of miles of dirt roads that are class 5.
Right,
Mhm.
Bristol's got them and
Yeah.
Alexandria and all those places have smaller.
Alright,
Okay,
if we got nothing else, I.
do you want
would
me to
make a
fill you in
motion.
a little bit on the Calder project, do you wanna?
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
Down in, just from planning board, just
Yeah,
an FYI that, in the, Divine Pit, he's looking at reclaiming it
Okay.
and, putting in a 55-year and older, senior mobile home park for
Oh.
60 to 80 units or something like that.
is that a subdivided thing?
Well, it's leasing the land. I
Oh.
mean, so so that's the contention. I'm gonna compose a letter for Judy to send out to Laura. Right now, none of the mobile home parks in town have been considered subdivisions. So I'm saying where he's leasing the land, he's not selling it, it's probably not. Other opinions on the board, planning board think is a subdivision. So we need clarification from Laura, and I'll get something.
is it
out
an
to you.
RV park or mobile?
Mobile home park,
Mobile home park.
Manufactured.
like A Benz or White Birches.
White Birches,
Same thing,
Okay.
same thing, and we never had them do subdivision, because they don't own the land, but it is a division of land, so I don't know.
He's
So-
leasing it from Divine?
No, he's
No,
buying,
he
he's
bought
gonna
it.
lease it,
He's gonna buy it, then have leased.
Yeah,
lease land,
Lots.
lease lots,
just like White Birch,
park rent.
White Park rent, yeah, and it's a year-round community. So, we just need Laura to clarify that, because if it's a subdivision, the planning board has to go through planning board, there are more strict regulations that we would probably have as far as laying out a mobile home park. If it was just a mobile home park and it doesn't need to go through subdivision, they would go through the select board to lay out the roads, fire safety, the water and all that stuff, so.
Distance between units.
Yeah, that would be up to us, you know what I mean? If it's a select board issue, if it's a planning board issue, it's gonna be a whole different set of rules. And it might really,
Might end up with subdivision.
so I don't know what the answer is, that's a lot of question. Because even though we've got 4 trailer parks already that we never considered subdivision, that doesn't mean if we did something wrong before, should continue to do it wrong forever, I guess.
True.
But I don't know the answer, I said, you know, I just try to stop everybody from talking about it, because we can talk about it all we want, but until we know the facts, we don't know the facts.
Exactly.
So, but I will get that to you this week, and Laura's on vacation next Wednesday
Till
anyway.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a crisis mode right now. But it will be at some point when they, you know, he's gonna have to lay out septic systems, all those things, he's gonna need to know what direction he's gonna go.
Anything else, Gil, did you?
But at
have-
this point, he's got the water to the edge of the property.
Yeah, that's, now we know why he wanted it there.
No, I had a feeling that he's got.
I knew there was something, but I told him he can't do that meeting, but very,
Nothing wrong with people getting closer.
no, that's fine.
Yep. Alright.
That's it.
Then I make a motion that we enter into a non-public meeting under personnel.
I'll second that.
What time is it?
It is 1:27 PM. All those in
Aye.
favor?
All right.
Aye. Alright, stop the recording on this. And we will
Thank you all
not
for
come
coming.
back.
You're not coming back?
We're not coming back to
Public
public.
participation.